Rich, a few days on now from that Barra defeat. What are your thoughts on it now, looking back?
Yeah, for us, probably that inconsistency in how we're playing. I thought we hurt ourselves a lot, with things that we're in control of, late, offloads, late hits that just put us under pressure. Not retaining kickoffs. Just didn't have any momentum within the game, and it ended up being quite scrappy. And when you complete at 60%, you put yourself in a real hard position to win the game.
It obviously started quite well and leading at half time, which was a different story in the second half, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, even with us going in front, we didn't earn the right to be in front. We picked up two loose balls and went full length, and um, like I say, we just didn't earn the right to think we could go on and win that game. I thought, credit to them, they got the basics of the game right and did it really well in getting to the kicks. I think the second half there was at 95%, and it shows you that helps to go on and win games. And we need to be better. We want a million miles away of getting that result. We had opportunities, but just didn't take them. And yeah, it's just frustrating. Frustrating when you want to sort of build some momentum and go on a run. We're starting again, and we're up against a quality opposition.
Overall, it obviously wasn't a performance or a result that we wanted when we went on that trip to Barra. But the fact that we were kind of still in it till the end and so close, maybe is that a positive to take?
Yeah, look, we're a good team when we play as a team. I think people just started trying to solve problems on their own, solving other players' problems, and we become, we're not the same team when we do that. So the message has been all this week is, stick to systems. When we start looking like we're coming out of our system, we look like we're in trouble and we're going to concede. Offensively, we need to have a fair share of the ball and territory. We didn't have a good ball set in the second half, so that shows you again credit to them defensively, but we didn't shape up and throw enough at them and ask enough questions of their defence. We made them defend, but we didn't ask questions of their defence.
Those two early tries that Gabby scored, that they really showed what he can do, didn't they?
Yeah, look, he's building into the team, and there's still a lot to work on with him. I still feel he can carry a little bit more out of yardage, and defensively as well. That one of their first tries, I think he was at fault for coming in. He needs again to just, we keep speaking about it, stay to our systems, and we won't put ourselves in them situations.
Looking forward now then, Oldham at home this weekend. What are you expecting from that challenge?
Yeah, look, quality outfit. They're on the back of a loss as well, a big loss against Bradford, but Bradford can do that to any team in this competition. But the quality, they had a lot of their senior boys missing, so they'll be a different animal when they come to us.
When you look at the league table, they've obviously had a reasonably strong start and they're going well in the 1895 Cup as well. It's going to be another tough battle, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Longie's got them playing really well. They've got quality halves, two halves that could possibly play Super League still. So they're going to challenge us. So defensively, we have to be at our best.
Their recruitment in the off season, obviously they were a team that have just come up from League One at the end of last season, but the way they've recruited it kind of doesn't feel that way, does it?
No, certainly not. They've gone out and sent a message. They're not here just to play a part. They're here to, with the players they've signed and the money they've spent, they're looking like a top three team. And so for us, the challenge is there. It's already. I shouldn't have to motivate our boys in the performance against these, because it's one of them. We don't turn up, we could be looking at an embarrassing scoreline. They've done it to teams already like York. Because of the quality they've got in their team, but we need to just get them in that bit of an arm wrestle, and if we do that, we're in with a shout at getting the result.
We've mentioned at times this season about how this time last season we were the new team in the Championship and teams didn't know quite what to expect from us. Is that kind of still the same this weekend, although it's quite a bit into the season now?
Yeah, look, we're a fair few games in now, so you get to watch a little bit of their structures and how they like to play. So but what you can't, take for granted is the quality they've got. They've got Drinkwater in the halves who kicks really well and good deception in what he does with the ball. Their edges in Turner and that and Ashurst, and they've got quality across there, and like I say, it's a challenge for us. And we defensively, we have to be, we can't be making the mistakes we was making at weekend.
We've mentioned their quality and the challenge ahead for us, but this weekend it is all about us and our response, isn't it?
Look, we've always responded well on the back of a loss, so our home ground, with our fans behind us. We need to, again, it's about we keep saying it, about a response. We're on a bit of a roller coaster at the moment, which we keep speaking we can't afford to be doing in this competition. We know from last year. So for us, we need to start building some consistency in what we do.